and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We will get you out here well before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. To serve live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and to deliver those winners, professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. So let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. With us is Tony Brown from Las Vegas, Brad Francis, Shane Mickle, Jay Briggs, Wayne Scott, Chris Ruffalo will sign in at the end of the show. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. Francis, Brown, Mickle, Briggs, Scott, Ruffalo, then I will close this one out. All right, here we are with NBA on the board. Good number of college basketball games as well, as we'll be looking as well as NHL. So let's get this show underway. And let's welcome in Brad Francis. Catch him over at Pick Dog Spin. We'll bring Brad in right now. Performing very well on the site. We'll get in Brad. I think we'll be set to go here in just a second here as we bring in Brad Francis to the drive-thru. Brad, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Tony? How are we doing today?
Doing great tonight. All right, here we go. NBA on the board. One of the three games tonight features the Kings on the road against the Suns. We see Sacramento, the dog here. Phoenix, 4.5, total 244.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Kings plus the points here. I actually think this is going to be a really good game and a really fun matchup. And the Suns, they've actually been playing better since getting Beal acclimated in the lineup, but I have to stick with my system here. And that's fading the Suns at home and tailing the Kings on the road. The Kings are 12-7 ATS on the road and a very impressive 7-2 ATS as an underdog this season. On the other hand, we have the Suns 7-15 ATS at home and 11-17 as a favorite this season. This is a matchup where I don't look at the rosters. I look at the numbers and I look at track records. And in these spots, the Kings continuously win me money. So give me the Kings plus the points here.
All right, we got Brad here on the Kings plus the points in this one. You can find fives. 4.5 is the sharpest book in the world. So Brad is with the sharp bettors right now because fives are at least at half the books out there. I'm seeing the fives out there, so that's the way to roll. Yeah, I can't argue that here, especially with the Phoenix Suns. Their issue at home has been their defense. They haven't defended well. Sometimes you get a little carried away with these home teams that have a lot of offensive stars. They just try to get into that outscore mode.
Exactly, yeah, and I mean, when it comes to if you're playing the Kings, you need to play defense. I mean, they're a fast-paced team. They have a bunch of young guys on this roster, and they could go on massive runs and really get take control of these games very quickly. So yeah, loving that for the Kings there as well.
Yeah, no doubt about that there with the Kings showing at last check. Let me double check. I think they have a positive rating this year here at on the road this season. Basically, when we said net rating, basically take offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency and just do the math, right? I think they shit on a positive mode here on the road this season. So they've been pretty good to bettors there away from home. And let's see here, when we look at Phoenix at home, 22nd defensive efficiency, just a +2 net rating. And you got to cover 5 here against a team that has a net rating of 1.2 on the road. So when you just kind of do the numbers, you crunch the numbers out, it really points there, as Brad says, taking the 5 points here with the Sacramento Kings. And, of course, this one will have a start time tonight here at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, Brad, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Brad having a great NBA season this year, so no better time to get on board with Brad. NBA limited card, but we got hockey, we got college hoops on the board, heading into a big playoff weekend in NFL. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, so what I have left for the site tonight is I have my best college basketball play, so go check that out. I have a couple games that actually started at 4 my time, so I'm ready to sweat those out. But I still have one play up there. I like it a lot, so go check that out. But like Tony said, long-term stuff is the way to go. You see my NBA numbers. We have a massive NBA card tomorrow, and I'm already digging into it. So it's a good time to hop up with the long-term.
That's right, guys. Got long-term here with Brad Francis over at Pick Dogs Premium. His long-term numbers the last 30 days, 1,104 units of profit, all sports combined. Long-term pass, remember the 30-day pass gets to the entire NFL playoffs. But if you want to try them out for 7 days, that's not a bad idea because you get the entire divisional round of the playoffs. Remember, we got 2 games Saturday, Sunday. All the NBA, all the college hoops here for the next 7 days. Pick is a promo code, save that 15% off. Remember, the multi-capper promotions allow you as well to add more cappers into the fray here with the multi-capper promotion. And you can find it there over at Pick Dogs as well, Premium. All right, Brad, as always, great having your show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again later next week. But let everybody know we can catch up with your video series here at Pick Dogs.
Yep, got the parlay videos dropping every single day. I know everyone on here loves a good parlay, so go check those out. Like I said, drop them every day before the games are the day before the games are on. So go check that out on Pick Dogs.
That's right, guys. Check it out. Make sure to like, subscribe, set those notifications so when Brad drops his parlay videos, you get them real time. It's from one of the top performers over at Pick Dogs. All right, Brad. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Good luck tonight.
You got it. Brad Francis here on the drive through. Let's continue on here. It looks like we're going to head off to Las Vegas, Nevada right now and welcome in Tony Brown. You can catch him over at Pick Dogs. We'll bring Tony Brown in right now with some college basketball coverage from Tony. Ready to roll with Tony Brown. Tony Brown, how are things in Vegas? Is it getting warmer or we're still on the chilly side?
It's still on the chilly side. I hate to mention the chilly side when we have Shane and people from Canada on the show. It's only 26, but for Vegas, that's really chilly, man.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, Tony Brown, of course, you're out there in the Mountain West territory. Mountain West action tonight. FS1 has late night action for you here as New Mexico hosts Utah State. The Lobos lay in 6 at the pit. We see a total 157.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a gift. I don't know if it's a mistake or if I'm overreading it, but from all my captain experience and from everything that I've been looking at, I think that Utah State +6 may be one of the best plays we get in college basketball this year. I'm going to sprinkle a little something on the money line just because I'm devious like that, but getting those 6 points wherever you can get them at, go ahead and take them. Utah State has been one of the hottest team, if not the hottest team in college basketball. They had a 1-1 start, and after that, they rambled off 15 straight wins in a row. They come into this game on a 15-game winning streak. They're 16-1 on the season. In that win streak, they're perfect 7-0 away from home during that time. Not to mention, I mean, this is the first meet in this season versus New Mexico, but last season they swept the season series going 2-0, and that made 7 straight for them versus the rivalry. So 7-0 versus New Mexico in the last 7, 2-0 with the sweep last year, 15-game straight winning streak. It's hard to go to the window and be like, it all ends today, so we won't. Let's go ahead and take those points with Utah State with a small sprinkle on an outright win.
All right, so about sprinkle, take the 6 and sprinkle the money line there. We just corrected a graphic, should correct in about 30 seconds here with Utah State and taking that plus points. And yeah, how can you argue with Utah State? They run off a pretty impressive win streak, perfect 4-0 here in conference play. Got road wins at Air Force, blew out Air Force, beats the UNLV. And I think one thing they're doing here, Tony Brown, I think we've been very familiar with this over the years, you being especially in the Mountain West, and I think this was talked about for some time. They always talk about how difficult it is to win at the pit.
No, and it is. And like I said, home court advantage, that's exactly why they call it home court advantage, but they've done it every single time. So I don't understand why the odds makers just think tonight's the night. And then even with that said, by it being a rivalry, we should have got like a pick 'em, maybe a -3 for the home court advantage. But 6, that leads to almost a double-digit win. And, like, they haven't lost in so long. Now they're going to get blown out by 7, 8, 9 points. I'm just not buying it.
Yeah, that's there we go with Tony Brown here on this one. With Utah State getting the points here on one of those late-night games. 6 at the sharpest book in the world. 5.5 most other places. So there's only one book here with the 6, and that's really the sharpest book in the world. The line shopping, get best number. That's the best way to roll it there. Is make sure you check out your numbers. I have the line screen here with all the major sports books. I have U.S. offshore. I even have the old school numbers where the guys at those bars when you bet at the guy book you at the local bar. I got his number.
Right, the guy that'll break your kneecaps if you don't pay.
Yeah, he's dealing 5.5. But if you got the sharpest book in the world, you can find 6, and that's who I use all the time. So make sure you guys do your line shopping, get the best numbers here. So Tony Brown will be on Utah State money line, sprinkle some there, and look for the 6s here tonight against New Mexico. 10:30 Eastern time. It is over on Fox Sports 1. All right, Tony Brown. Let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, we got a lot of college hoops now, right? We're heading into the time of the year where we're in the middle of January, so we have at least a little less than 2 months of conference play before we get into conference tournament action. Tony Brown has been nailing it right now in the NFL. 1,739 units of profit, has been on absolute tear. He's put up some great hockey numbers. He's been very consistent on the ice as well. All right, Tony, NHL on the board tonight. We got NBA as well as college hoops. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Right, we got my Tuesday triple play tonight. It's a perfect storm. We got NBA, NHL, and NCAA all going tonight. and we're all over them. I took my best play on the board out of each league, so that's 3 leagues, 3 picks. Your bookie's not going to know what hit them. You can grab them individually if you only play one sport, or you can break your bookie 3 times over and get all 3 picks for only $35.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Tony Brown over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here from Tony in the NFL. Is doing great work. Last 30 days also showing a very good profit. Tony Brown here, 523 units of profit, all document over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, Tony, we're in this year round. As we know, spring training is not too far away, and we know that you're also into baseball. All the major sports, you have that VIP 1 year all sports service.
Right. NHL, MLB, and NFL, we're always at the top of the leaderboards. This year we're number 1 in NFL. I'm going to hope to finish number 1 in NHL. Like, if you guys are serious about making money in all these sports, there's no need to pay per day or per play or per sport anymore. You can get every single pick I release from every single sport. There's no upselling. You get playoffs, championships, World Series, Super Bowls. Every single pick I release from every single sport for a full year, not the length of the sport. 365 days of plays for one low price with my VIP All Sports Pass.
That's right, guys. VIP 1 all year sports pass. Way to go with Tony Brown. Save a lot of money there. You see how great performance he's put together here for you. NFL, NHL, and then we get into baseball, ready to roll. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. All right, Tony Brown, as always, great having the show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you a little later in the week.
All right, man. I always appreciate being here, and I'll see you guys on Thursday.
You got it. Tony Brown here on the drive-thru. We'll continue here on the drive-thru. And welcome into the show right now, Shane and Mickle. Catch him over at Pick Dogs. We'll bring Shane in right now. Ready to roll here with Shane. Shane, what's going on?
How's it going, Tony?
Everything's going great tonight. ESPNU has this SEC battle between Georgia and South Carolina. We see South Carolina favored here, 6.5. The total sits 137.
Yeah, this is a game that features 2 teams who have both seemed to be surprising this year. South Carolina, I think people thought would be good. I don't know if they saw 14-2 coming. And then Georgia, they've been competitive. They've been playing well. It's clear that this team is back, headed in the right direction. But I think the play here is with the Georgia Bulldogs. South Carolina, since SEC play, has not been running up the score against Alabama. They only scored 47. Last game they went on the road and beat Missouri by 2. Missouri, is a tough place to play, but Missouri has had their major issues this season. But like I said, the one thing I'm noticing is that South Carolina's not been running up the score. This is a Georgia team that can score. They might have a little bit of issues here against the South Carolina defense, but I don't think we have to be concerned about South Carolina putting up 75 or 80 points here. I think Georgia will score 65, and that'll be enough for them to keep it within this 6.5 number. I'm going to take Georgia getting the points.
All right, we got Shane here with Georgia plus the points. So showing sharpest book in the world, 6.5. 5.5 sixes out there. Do your line shopping. Get the best number here if you can on this one. We just saw it click up again. So these lines are moving as we speak. Shane, with this Georgia team, they've been doing well. Had that little loss there to Tennessee at home. But, man, it's a 3-point shooting net from this Georgia team, nearly 40% overall. 40% in the conference this season.
Yeah, that's the thing about this Georgia team. They lost to Tennessee because of their defense, of course, but they put up 79 points against this Tennessee defense that's been good. That's slowing down Florida today. So I think even though they lost that game, they can take a lot of good away from that game. This isn't a team that was expected to win the SEC or anything like that this year. So only losing by a handful of points against Tennessee, I don't think is looked at as a negative. I think they can hit those shots here. It's going to keep them close. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for them to win this game. I really see them losing by maybe 2 or 3. Yeah,
when you kind of look at South Carolina's profile in conference, it's been kind of struggles shooting threes, defending threes, shooting twos, defending twos. Yet they're 2-1, but they needed overtime to get that win at Missouri.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it feels like they're 14-2 now, but they can kind of be like my Gophers, where they go on a little. They probably win today, but they go on a little losing streak, and then they're right back in the middle of the pack where everyone kind of expected.
All right, here we go. Shane here. Georgia plus 5.5, plus 6, 6.5. The numbers are scattered about, guys. Do your line shopping, get the best number. I've even seen a line. I'm even finding 6.5 right now in the Vegas book. So we're seeing a lot of line discrepancy right now in this game. I get the best number tonight, 9 Eastern time, over on ESPNU. All right, Shane, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, on the board tonight, we got NBA, we got college hoops, but Shane has been on a tear here. Look at the numbers over the past 30 days. Have been on absolute fire. 2,000 52 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dogs Premium. You can verify those numbers. Go to Shane's handicapper page, and of course, you'll be able to see every play that he's released on the site. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, a 3-pack. I've been kind of liking NHL the last couple weeks, but I have an NHL player I really like, including a sampler 3-pack, best college basketball, best NBA, best NHL, $39.99. And then I also have a basketball 3-pack, which has got my 3 best plays between college basketball and NBA, also $39.99. My results have spoken for themselves. There's no better time to hop on that 7 or 30-day pass. Like you said, you still have a good amount of football left. I'm really liking this NHL card this weekend. I've already taken a look at that, like a few games, so I'll have more NHL. So your best bet is to hop on long term and make some money together.
That's right, guys. You got to go with Shane Mickle over at Pick Dogs Premium. See the great results here from Shane. Over 2,000 units of profit, all sports combined. Long term, remember that 1-month pass gets you remainder of the NFL playoffs, all of them. Hockey, all the NBA, all the college basketball for 30 days. Pick it, so promo code SAVE that 15% off with Shane Mickle, who's been on an absolute tear. All right, Shane, as always, great having you show. Team, that's great success. We'll catch up with you again in a couple of days. But everybody know we can find your work in written form over at Pick Dogs.
Yeah, Pick Dogs Sports Chat plays are right on both sites. Basically every sport besides NBA, and then we have UFC, big UFC card this weekend, and then English Premier League. So I love all the videos. The videos are great, but don't forget about the written work. There's every game is covered on Sports Chat and Pick Dogs, so make sure to check out all that written work too if you're looking for more opinions on the games you're looking to bet.
That's right, Shane. Of course, when you write really thoroughly in your write, look at a lot of stats you use in the write-ups.
Definitely stats based, and it makes it a little easier when I go to do premium picks at night. Already have those stats in the back of the head from the articles I've done. So yeah, definitely you kill 2 birds with 1 stone doing it that way.
Yeah, you can tell me I'm a former writer. I do some work writing myself, and it's just so much helpful in the handicapping process. I think so much. I know a lot of people put emphasis on watching games. I might think, at first that, unless you write, you realize the importance of it. Some say it might be 50-50. Watch the games, 50% writing and researching. Some people might say 70. So what do you think? What do you put in value here, writing versus watching?
I think it starts with the writing. I think you start with the stats, and then after you've based it on the stats, what you see there. Well, then of course you go with the eye test. Sometimes those stats can be a little bit deceiving, but a lot of times when you have good stats and then you have the eye test going together, that's where you're going to get your best plays, your plays of the week, that type of thing. So I'd say it's about 50-50, but I think it always starts for me with the stats. Especially
now in these college sports, we have 2 seasons. I have multiple. We'll start with the non-conference and the conference. At what point do you disregard the non-conference? Or you just kind of focus on conference numbers?
Well, I think it's about this time. I mean, if you look at South Carolina for a perfect example, their stats and their offensive stats look a lot different now if you just take the non-conference versus the conference. This isn't a team. They're putting up 80, 90 points during non-conference play. I don't think they're doing that during conference play. So I think this is you have to keep in mind what they did in non-conference, especially if they face off against a low-level tier. I mean, in the Big 12, for example, like a West Virginia team when Houston just destroyed them. But yeah, if you're talking top tier, I don't think it matters unless they played a super tough, non-conference like a team like Kansas or one of those teams that's been really battle-tested.
There you go. Not all schedules are created equally. So unless you ask Chip Kelly, he would like that. He had an idea for equalizing the schedule. But anyway, all right, Shane, have a great night. We'll catch up with you in a couple days.
Sounds good. Yeah, Houston's getting a taste of that medicine in the Big 12. So
yep.
Have a good night, everyone.
Well, Shane Mickle here on the drive to. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, let's go ahead and welcome in Jay Briggs. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We're going to the ice. Jay's looking for those skates. He's skating them up right now. He's tying up those laces. He's ready to get on the ice right now. What happened Sunday's put behind him right now. It's just pure focus on the future here. Got NBA, got action on the ice as well as college hoops. Let's bring him in right now. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening?
All right, we're colliding here, Jay. We're colliding. Kings and Stars going head to head tonight. LA finally got a win under the belt here. It's been a tough struggle. Stars though favorite here, -126, total 6.5.
Yeah, the Kings, they were stumbling, but like you said, they did get right yesterday in Carolina. The thing is I don't like the spot for the Kings. I really don't. I think that the cold streak is probably over, but it just is now a bad scheduling spot. This is their sixth or seventh straight road game. The Stars, in all honesty, I think are just the flat out better hockey team. Um, you know, they went through their little struggle spot recently too, but they've since won 3 of their last 4, and I think it's just another great spot for them at home. I'm not overcomplicating this one, Tony T. I don't overcomplicate hockey. I just don't think it's a great spot for the Kings. They'll be fine. They've had a great season, and we're gonna have spots to get back on the Kings. I just think similar to my spots in the NBA, I just think it's a bad spot for LA on the back end of this long road trip. I'm gonna take the home team.
There we go with the Jay here taking the home team Stars minus 136, minus 126. Do your line shopping, get the best numbers here if you would. Yeah, back-to-back spot for the LA Kings team that has really had struggles here trying to put pucks in the net. I look at the numbers. They had a hard time getting over 3 goals. The defense, it's been a lot of those one goal losses here during such this bad stretch of games here where they just haven't been able to get that win on their belt. But they got a little bit of goals last night. But man, it was a while before they put up more than 4 goals. I think I'm looking at maybe 10 games before they had that many goals.
Yeah, and the Stars defensively have been playing quite well, in my opinion. I'm a little biased, I'm going to be honest. But I think defensively we've seen them play better here recent. And we'll see if they can put it back together tonight. I think home ice is usually a great spot for them. We'll see if they can get it done.
Now, see how they do it tonight here. Kings in this back-to-back spot tonight here. Again, they've been really struggling here of getting goals. Jay's on the Stars here, minus 136, minus 126. Do your line shopping, get the best number tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. Of course, we do have NBA on the board. A lot of college hoops now. Boy, we're getting the conference action in right now, as well as action here from the ice. Good results from Jay in the NBA this year. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I have just one play for sale tonight, guys. This is my NBA play of the day. We're looking to bounce back on it. Tonight, we had the Raptors yesterday. Tight game. Just didn't go our way in the
Couldn't make a 3. They couldn't make it. You see the 3? Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was one of those, right on the number. It was one of those.
12% from 3. They held the Boston to 40% shooting. They played defensively well, but just couldn't make it 3 to save their life.
Make it 3 to save their life, man. And it, cost us the cover in the end. But it happens. It's been an overall solid season in the NBA, so looking to bounce back on it tonight. Small card in the NBA, but really solid card tomorrow. So the best thing to do, hop on something long-term, hop on something even longer-term. You get the NFL for this weekend, divisional round. And, money-making week. There's plenty of college hoops. I'll be in action some of this week, and hockey as well. So let's make some money this week here at Pick Dog.
That's right, guys. Got it over Jay Briggs over at Pick Dogs. Great results to see. 1,128 units of profit, showing profit for the year. So great time to get on board with the long-term pass. I mean, Jay making a here from NFL, from NBA, from college hoops, from NHL. What else is on right now? He's showing profit this year in all the major sports. So, Jay, those big players out there with those big bankrolls, you got something special for them.
Yes, I do. It's my all-access club. Run through me, my guy in Costi, and Eric. Those guys manage it, but the plays are coming from me. And the guys that have been in there from the start, they are having an amazing year. It's been only 2 months in there, but we're up over, I want to say, 115 units, I want to say. It's been pretty crazy. It's my rating system. It's for the guys that can handle the volume of betting the NBA pretty big nightly. It's for the guys that ask for that next level premium service. I do late releases, able to kind of get on the back end of some of this injury news in the NBA. Sometimes I drop halftime plays. It's just things that I'm not really able to access on the site all the time. But yeah, it's a really good product. If you think it's for you, text the number 774 or 775-636-7674, and we'll figure out a time to talk and figure out the package for you.
There you go. So get on board here with Jay on that all access. You can see, just go to his handicapper page. You can see the positive results from all the major sports right now. He's been on absolute tear, making money with Jay Briggs. All right, Jay, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success. Let everybody know and catch you here on the mornings. You've got your NBA Jam session. When's that NFL divisional round coming up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys can catch me on the morning show Monday through Friday. really Monday through 7 days a week because I host the weekend shows. You guys can catch me here with Tony T, and you catch the Jam Session every day. There's NBA. Dropped it today for the 3 games on the card, and then tomorrow, like I said, we have a really nice schedule, so that'll be out as well. So plenty of action for me, and check me out tomorrow. Me, Mitch, and Big Al with the NFL show going over the divisional game. So plenty of content for me coming down the pipeline.
You want to check those shows tomorrow. That the NFL divisional show. What is it, about 4 Eastern is when you go live?
3 Eastern.
3 Eastern. Okay, 3 Eastern. I know. Big Al has to get that walk his dog sometime around or after the show. So you got it in there. All right. Walter needs his walk, and he needs to be fed too as well. All right, Jay, have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you again on the show show Thursday.
Yes, sir. See you Thursday, Tony.
You got it. Jay Briggs here on the drive through. Let's continue on. Guys, if you ever miss a pick, we always recap at the end. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue here on the drive through. Up next, let's go ahead and welcome in Wayne Scott. You can catch him over at Pick Dog Spin. We'll bring in Wayne right now with some college basketball action from Wayne on this card tonight. We may also do a little bit of a rundown from the NBA games not covered on the show. Wayne to us there. Let's bring him in right now. I think we're set to with Wayne. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, Pick Dog fam? Hope everybody doing great out there today.
A great day today. A lot of college hoops with Big 12 action tonight. We're looking at Baylor and Kansas State. A real tight one here on paper. Kansas State laying 1, total 140.5.
Yes, sir. As Tony just mentioned, man, tight on paper. Got me a little confused here with this Baylor team as dogs on the road, but I kind of see why. Kansas State, they've played well at home. Their numbers are increased at home, offensively and defensively. Way stronger defensive team than offense. Really, Kansas State has not been too efficient offensively, but this Baylor team, man, they're lights out on the offensive end. Fifth in field goals and first in 3-pointers. They're coming off a 5-game winning streak. They're 7-3 against Kansas State, and but they've lost their last 2, so they're working with a little revenge in here. I like Baylor here, man. They're just a way stronger offensive team. I like what Kansas State has been doing at home, but the strength of schedule has not been there for me. They, like I said, their numbers are increased at home, but I see why playing off schedule like Central Arkansas, Bellarmine, Chicago State. So their numbers are quite inflated. This Kansas State team, some of the woes that made them lose their last game, I think we'll see here. They're a high turnover team. They had 18 turnovers in their last game, a close game, but it's hard to win when you have 18 turnovers. Low percentage 3-point shooting team. When you have a team like Baylor who is so good offensively, you're definitely going to have to hit the 3. And they don't get to the line very much, this Kansas State team. So I'm taking Baylor here. Baylor also not only just way stronger offensively, but solid rebounding team too. So those extra possessions, like I said, first and 3-pointing, first and fifth and field goals. I'm taking Baylor in this one.
Sorry, there you go. You there? Wait.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. That was me. Thank you guys for fixing me. All right, my mic had muted. But anyway, yeah, we're speaking here about the Baylor situation here. How I really liked. I saw that game against BYU where they got behind and they made that really good run to close the game out in the final 5 minutes.
Yeah, man. Anytime you see a team do that, it makes it easier to bet with them because it shows you that they have that fight. And that BYU team is solid. So not only did they not give in and just take an L on the schedule, they fought back and they got the win. And that's another reason why I just like Baylor. Their strength of schedule has been very tough, and they still been putting up great numbers offensively. Defensively, they can be a little better, but solid rebounding team. They don't turn the ball over. And anytime that you're that good of a 3-point field goal shooting team, you always got a chance on the road.
Yeah, they've been a little soft in the middle, defending and scoring. That's the one you mentioned. That's the thing they've got to work on. But again, I've said this before many times in college, man. It's just hard to back a team that turns the ball over so much.
Exactly, man. Kansas State, they their last game, man, they did everything better than the other team, but the turnovers. 18 turnovers is hard to win. They shot the three better. They didn't get to the line a lot. They did foul a lot, but just field goal wise and just scoring wise, they actually had a great offensive output, but couldn't get it done. Way too many turnovers. So, like you said, it's just hard to back a team that turns the ball over at a high rate like that, even with the home court advantage.
All right, we have Wayne here on Baylor here. Money line lay the 115 here against Kansas State. Like we always do with Wayne, is we like to kind of go over some of the NBA games not covered on the show. There's two of them, top of the hour here. And actually, 7:30 Eastern Time, Nuggets and 76ers. We've seen this line move down here, but must be telling us something here. Sixers now 1.5, total 228.
Yeah, and it's injuries in this one is the reason why that line. I haven't checked.
Yeah, all the questionables for Denver are playing, right? Murray, Caldwell Pope, Porter, Gordon, Jokic. Like the entire starting lineup was questionable. They're playing now, so that's why we're seeing that. And B's gonna play. That's why we've seen this line move.
Yeah, Denver's had kind of had Philly's number in this last 10, going 6-4 in their last 10. Denver's been playing well as of late, 7-3. We know Denver slips on the road a little bit, although they are 11-9 on the road. Philadelphia, man, do they ball at home? They have all their guys here. It's going to be hard for me to get off of Philadelphia in this one, even now that the numbers are even lower. One thing that surprised me is Denver has been playing defense very well lately, and that's one thing that they didn't do very well this year. But when I sum all that up, Denver hasn't played its toughest competition lately, and Philadelphia has been playing some tough competition. They've gotten some tough wins against some good teams, and I think they get it done here with how they've been playing lately.
There you go. And of course, another game not covered here on the show is the Thunder and Clippers TNT doubleheader game here. We've seen this line move up a little bit here. Sharpest book in the world now to 6, but we're seeing 5.5 sixes now favored by the Clippers. Total sits here about 237.5.
Yeah, this OKC team has been coming out, and they've been making a statement against West Coast teams, and I have no choice but to take them here with the points. It's hard to go against this Clippers team. I'm not ignoring what they've been doing, but this young OKC team with points, they've been dangerous. They play well on the road, and like I said, my big thing with them, if they cover against Western Conference teams like no other before, they will really want to show the Western Conference that they are here. Coming off a tough loss to the Lakers, I feel like this is a great bounce back spot, especially ATS-wise. Can the Clippers come in here and get this win at home where they play well at? Quite possibly, but it's a team that's been healthy predominantly most of the season. They're gelling very well.
Zubac is a player nobody really talks about, but he's somebody who works hard. He's one of those guys that does the dirty work, right? He's out there working the boards, covers ground under the basket, rebounds a lot. Doesn't get you a lot of points, but does a lot of the dirty work. How does him missing this game, how do you think it impacts this game?
It impacts them a lot because, like you said, man, they got a couple prima donnas on there. They hustle night in and night out, but they have their nights where they take off and they let him, as you said, do that dirty work. So when he's not there, they're definitely going to have to step up their role defensively and rebounding wise. It gives the advantage to young Chet Holmgren, who's been playing pretty well against most centers. So anytime he gets to take on a backup center, you would think that he will play a little bit better and his numbers will go up. But I agree with you, man. Zubac, one of them names that are not talked about, but he's definitely a jail piece for the Clippers, kind of bringing them all together. And with him missing out tonight, it might not be factored that much into the line, but he'll definitely be missed.
Yeah, I think Daniel Theus we'll see extra time. Mason Plumlee may see some extra time. So how do you figure them here in this lineup?
I like Mason Plumlee. makes him bad free throw shooter, but he pretty much does what Zubac does. So he gives you real good minutes off that bench. Some nights you see him come in the bench with less minutes and better stats. As you said, Zubac's not really a scorer, but good feeling piece for them, to be honest with you. One of the better backup centers, and I think they'll be fine. Just the amount of points that they're giving OKC, just too much right here.
Yeah, there are quite a bit there as we're seeing that line there. So we got you covered in the NBA with Wayne, and of course here on the record here, Baylor money line here against Kansas State, 8 Eastern time. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dodgement for tonight's action. Of course, we do have on the board tonight NBA. We got a lot of college hoops up here on the board as well. Some action on the ice because Wayne will give you picks on the ice as well. Great results in college hoops this year from Wayne, 352 units of profit. All documented over at Pick Dodgement. You can verify those numbers very, very easily by going to Wayne's handicapper page and check it out right there. What do you have going over at the site?
3 plays in college basketball. Love this college basketball card today. I'm on another bet that I didn't get to put in late. But so I could have easily had 4 plays tonight, and even including that Baylor. Love that Baylor play that I just gave out. But only 1 play up there for sale tonight, so you can grab that, or you can get on long term, and then you can get all 3 of those plays by getting a 3-day, 7-day, and 30-day. Great basketball this week. Great NBA card tomorrow. Like Tony said, I do dabble in the NHL here. And good playoffs games that'll be coming into this week. So if you're getting that 7-day, we'll look to continue to crank in the NFL, and let's get cash this week.
Cash this week indeed. Get on board with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dogs. You see the great results from Wayne in college hoops, 352 units of profit. All documented over at Pick Dogs. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. Add multi-cappers with the multi-capper promotion. Will save you even more money there. So a great time to get on board here with Wayne over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, Pick is a promo code to save some money there with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dogs. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again on tomorrow's show. But everybody know you're working on a boxing video series as well.
Yes, sir. And it's probably a woman's boxing this week. Pretty pissed off last week. I couldn't give you guys Arthur Better Beef. He did get the stoppage in round 7, and I wanted to give out round 7 through 9. But no need to talk about something that already passed. Michaela Mayer, women's boxing, lovely line. She's actually the underdog. I'll be giving you guys why I like that. I'm already hitting, then I'm leaning her away, and I'll be breaking that down on the video and getting that out to you guys.
That's right. So make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications so when Wayne drops those video series on boxing, you get them right away to get the best numbers. And, man, you better move them on fast because in all the boxing and MMA, man, these lines move quickly.
No, they definitely do, man. When they get that read, man, they lay that money in that. And by the time fight night comes, she'll definitely be a favorite. I believe so.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, Wayne, have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. Oh.
Appreciate you for having me, Tony T. Take care, Pick Dog fam.
You got it. Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here on the show. With the fill-in spot tonight is our man Chris Ruvolo. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, you can catch him in the mornings here during the week, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, joining Mitch and company. I'm Jay here with that morning show, so bring Chris right now. Chris, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. I just decided I had to make a fill-in appearance. I hadn't been on a Tuesday in a while, so I was like, you know what, why not stop through?
Yeah, I appreciate you filling in tonight because this nice, big college basketball card night in the conference play. You're looking at one here, and we've seen a line move here in this game with Arkansas and Texas A&M here. A&M here favored 2.5. We see the total 147.5.
Yeah, and this line's been sort of all over the place. It was actually, I did this video on this game around yesterday, and it was sitting around 2 in favor of Texas A&M. And I thought that was still maybe a little bit, I don't want to say an overreaction because Arkansas hasn't been great over the course of conference play so far. But realistically, you look at these two teams, these are 13th and 14th in the SEC in terms of offensive efficiency over the course of conference play. And right now, to be honest, I normally don't do these kinds of spots, but I think this is a great buy low spot on Arkansas. Texas A&M, I think there's going to be a bit of a letdown here. Coming off of the overtime win over Kentucky, now they have to head back out on the road to take on an Arkansas team that's 0-3 in conference play. You don't want to fall to 0-4. And they're going back home where all we've seen from this Arkansas team in conference play is that they've been getting blown out by double digits. This is not what this Arkansas team is made of. This is an Arkansas team that Eric Musselman constructed with a lot of high-profile transfers. Guys like Khalif Battle used to play at Temple. Tremont Mark came over from Houston. L. Ellis had seen some action coming over from Louisville as well. This is a really talented team on paper that just has not been able to gel. I think this is just going to be a frustrated Arkansas team that comes out and takes out some frustration on Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M comes out a little bit flat here. I think Arkansas is a live dog in this one. I'm taking half points.
All right, there we go with Chris here. Arkansas plus the points. You can find threes right now on the marketplace. Sharpest book in the world. Chris is with the sharp money right now because there's threes. We saw this move down from 3.5 about an hour ago to 3, 2.5 now. Sharpest book in the world. That is the sharp move here. Is to Arkansas. So make sure you get the threes in this one. Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask you, boy. The transfer portal. This is kind of this is what the people who argue against it. This is what they love to bring. See, you bring in guys that haven't played together. There's no chemistry. Blah blah blah. You're a great coach, but as you said, when you kind of look at the conference numbers, and if you kind of look at our man Palm here, deep red, some deep pink in a lot of key areas for this Arkansas team. The one saving factor for Texas A&M has been their defense.
Yeah, and that's sort of where the Aggies have always really hung their hat on under Buzz Williams, is their ability to play solid defense. And they're middle of the pack in terms of efficiency in conference play so far. But again, for me, this is just, like I said, buying all on a buy low spot on Arkansas. That is just a much better team than what we've seen up to this point. I didn't love the loss to Georgia, but maybe a loss to Auburn is understandable. Maybe not a 32-point loss, but and a loss to Florida. But like I said, the sum of the parts for me for Arkansas is still good enough to not be a 3-point home dog. I think this should be closer to a pick'em. So like I said, I think it's just a flat spot for Texas A&M after the overtime win over Kentucky against a hungry Arkansas team.
Circle the wagons game here, and you're kind of looking at that performance they had really against Duke here in late November, right at home, where they pulled off that 5-point win behind solid defense and really shooting the twos and threes really well.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are still going to be hung up on the loss at home to UNC Greensboro earlier this season as well. But this is an Arkansas team we talk about, like you said, Tony. It's battle tested. They played Oklahoma on a neutral floor, have the home win over Duke. Played Memphis and North Carolina on a neutral floor as well. And Texas A&M, they played some solid opposition themselves, but like I said, 3.5 points, 3 points on the road to me just feels like a bit of an overreaction here, a bit too much credit being given to A&M, or maybe too little being given to Arkansas here. So that's kind of why I was on the Hogs. Yeah,
I can go talk to Chris here. Ruffalo joins us here on the drive-thru. I'm looking at some of the thrill scores. A lot of the Big 12 at the top. Iowa State and BYU at home. And I think the Big 12 is getting a taste of the Marriott Center. BYU coming to this one against Iowa State here tonight. This is going to be a little later start tonight, about 9 Eastern time, with BYU laying 4.5.
Yeah, I want to see if Iowa State's going to be able to transfer that defense that they play in Ames. I want to see if it transfers to BYU, because BYU is solid in the non-conference, but they kind of got smacked in the mouth a little bit in the first couple games of non-conference play, and then had to grind out a win against UCF. So I think BYU got a little bit of a wake-up call that Big 12 play is not going to be as easy as the non-conference portion made it look like it was going to be.
We saw those new entrants have trouble in college football, right? And the new entrants, the independent teams, and the teams from the AAC going into the Big 12. We have a situation like this tonight with TCU and Cincinnati.
Yeah, and that's why I liked TCU in that game as well. Cincinnati's a solid team at home, but those are two teams that have played a ton of close games so far this season. I mean, Cincinnati, just in conference play, their last two losses to Texas and Baylor come by a combined 4 points. TCU coming off the 1-point win over Houston, and the lone time we saw them on the road in conference, they lost by 2 in a thriller against Kansas. So to me, I think I'm still seeing threes on the board for Cincinnati there. I like the points with TCU. I think that comes down to who gets the last shot.
Yeah, the points there. Taking the Big 12 against that new entrance here from the AAC, and of course we do have one a big East battle actually already in progress right now with Butler and Xavier, a 6:30 start, and of course some of these games we covered with early in the drive-through. It was the St. John Seton Hall game where we seen this one. St. John's going on the run here facing Seton Hall. Pitino better watch his mouth, right?
You know what? I think and I'm starting to feel this way again about St. John's, was that St. John's in college hoops for me right now is almost the Colorado of college football. You have the allure of bringing in the high profile and, try to restore the name of St. John's basketball, where it's been a down year the last couple of years for the Red Storm. And I don't know. I'm still, the jury's out on St. John's a little bit still, I think. And Seton Hall maybe a little bit of a better team than I was probably giving them credit for early on this season.
Late night tonight has UNLV and Boise. Boise's going to be laying about, looks like 5 in this game. Am I right? Yeah, 5 points here, total about 142. Although we're seeing sharp money come here on the under, as there's 140.5 right now at the sharpest book in the world.
Yeah, I think I was leaning towards. It's tough because I was leaning towards UNLV. I think in that game, I think Boise State wins, but I think UNLV covers. UNLV got shafted in that game against San Diego State. There was some brutal refereeing against Utah State. Against Utah State. There was some brutal refereeing in that game. UNLV probably should have won that game at home. Instead, lost to the Aggies by 1. I think it's a talented UNLV team. I'm not ready to give up on UNLV just yet. I know Boise normally have a veteran team: Max Rice, Tyson Degenhart. But like I said, I think 5.5. I think is still too many. I think I'm hanging around a 2-3 point game there.
For those that got Peacock to watch the football game, we got a college basketball game tonight. Purdue and Indiana. That's pretty good, right? This one, Indiana, Purdue laying some points on the road.
I'm still. It's not pretty, but I think you got to go with Indiana in that one. This Purdue team this year is sort of a carbon copy of what we saw last year. Lose to Northwestern, struggle on the road in conference play, kill the non-conference portion of their schedule. And it's worth noting that although it's a different team from last year, Indiana swept Purdue last year. They won both meetings. So something just to keep in the back of your mind. But I think, 10 I think is too many. 10, 9.5, whatever you can get it at, I think it's too many.
ESPN will be televising top of the hour Syracuse and Pitt. We're seeing here Pitt laying some points here, 6.5, total 146.
For me, it was Syracuse. I know it's a lot. It's technically a bit of a bigger number. Maybe not, considering Syracuse has lost all 3 of their conference road games by 20+. But Pitt, I think they're 0-5 this year against teams inside the Ken Pom top 100. And that includes a loss to Syracuse in Syracuse earlier this season. So while there is a revenge factor here at play, I don't think it's... I think if Pitt wins, they win this one by 2 or 3, maybe 4 points max. I think it's just too many. So, yeah, it's Syracuse for me there.
Your doubleheader game on ESPN 9 Eastern Time has Kansas and Okie State. Okie State, the home dog, 6.5. There are some 7s out there, total 140.
I remember Oklahoma State played Baylor in their conference home opener, and Oklahoma State took Baylor to overtime in that game. But you do a deep dive, the Baylor team that led the country in 3-point shooting in that game, I think started by shooting like 2 of 15 from 3-point range in that game. It took an abnormally bad shooting night from behind the arc from Baylor to keep Oklahoma State in that game, and they still found a way to lose and not cover in overtime. So I think Kansas enforces their will inside. Oklahoma State just plays too slow, and they play too many low-scoring games for me to trust them against a team like Kansas.
There you go. You got it from Chris. One of the best in college hoops. We didn't even plan this segment. He was ready to roll with all the marquee all the top thrill scores, TV games. Got it here on the drive-thru. All right, Chris, on record here, Arkansas plus the points here against Texas A&M, 9 Eastern Time. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Of course, college hoops on the board, NBA. Lots of action on the ice. Chris has been on fire here in this year in college hoops. NBA as well, showing great profit. What do you have going over at Pick.com Premium?
I'll tell you, it was not my best day yesterday, but today is a bounce back. It's not about getting knocked down that 9th time. It's about getting up for a 10th, and I think we're going to do that tonight. Got plenty on the board. Got 5-pack for college hoops. Got my Hoops and Hockey 3-pack with 1 NBA and 2 NHL plays as well. Got $19 college hoops play, standalone plays from the NHL and NBA, so something for everybody tonight. But the best value, I think a couple guys alluded to it already, hop on a long-term pass. Whether it's just with me or you pair me up with any of the other great cappers as part of the multi-capper promotion. can't go wrong with Pick Dogs Premium.
Can't go wrong. Get on board with Chris over at Pick Dogs Premium. Great results this year in college hoops, NBA as well. Last 30 days showing 208 units of profit, all sports combined. Last 7 days as well. Remember that 1 month pass covers the remainder of the NFL playoffs and all the college hoops, NBA, NHL for that 30-day pass. Get signed up. All right, Chris, as always, great having you show. Thanks for filling in today. Have a great night. We can catch up with you again tomorrow. But let everybody know we can catch your video series. Of course, you do the wraparound from the NHL. You do a lot of the free pick videos. You do a lot of the writing. And you're also part of the morning crew.
Yeah.
What else don't you do?
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Yeah, jack of all trades. But no, yeah, got tons of content going up. The wraparound, like you said, Tony, cover the entire NHL card. The daily videos, the morning shows, the live shows, you name it. People are probably going to start to get sick of me, but I love what I'm doing. So make sure that you check out all the content we're going to be dropping. It should be up in a couple hours for tomorrow's games. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified when the newest and freshest content drops. Like, subscribe, set notifications when Chris's videos drop. You get them right away, and get on board there with the subscribe with this channel. Fantastic content from all the great handicappers here at Pick Dogs. You see, you can tell when we do these rundowns, cappers know what they're doing. All right, Chris, have a great night. We'll catch up again tomorrow. Good, Tony. Take care.
You got it. Chris Reveal here on the drive to. Guys, we'll do the recap in just a second. We'll get to my pick, and then we move to the recap. So let's go ahead. Let's continue here on the drive-through. I do believe I got my game loaded, so let's go ahead. If not, I'll just sift through it here. We're going to the action for tonight's action here. Kent and Northern Illinois will be on a favorite here in this game when we get down to the graphic here in just a second here. Let's see here. I think we're set to roll here. Kent, Northern Illinois. This line has moved, not surprisingly. Right? Not surprisingly, when you look at this Northern Illinois team, they've just been terrible this year. I had 3.5 an hour ago when I made these graphics, but now we're looking at, what are we looking at here? 4.5 at the sharpest book in the world. I'm going to let me see where I'm going to be graded at right now. Let me check the other books here real quick. Boy, there's a lot of top of the hour. Oh, actually, this is not top of the hour. It's 8 Eastern time. Okay, 8 Eastern time. We've got 3.5s, 4s. There are some 3.5s still in the marketplace. So a dear line shop. So you can find 3.5s. You can grade me at 3.5 because there's 3.5s just pretty much everywhere. Sharpest book in the world now. 4.5. They're getting the late steam is coming on this Kent State team. And how can you blame them, right? How can you blame that when you kind of look at this Northern Illinois team and just really how poor they played this season? Kent in action. They're a good three-point shooting team, 39% from three. They make their free throws. The Golden Flash has been strong in the glass on both ends facing the conference. But Northern Illinois 0-4 in the MAC. They dropped both home games by double digits. They're weak on the glass and on the interior as well on both ends of the court. Making twos, defending twos, been very bad. The Huskies commit turnovers in MAC play, plus they give 37% from three, and making threes is a strength here for Kent. We'll go ahead and take Kent, lay the 3.5. All right, guys, check out Pick Dogs Premium tonight. I've got best bets up there here from college hoops as well as the NBA, so get signed up. Also, my long-term passes, my 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass, get all my pre-and plays for that time period. So, like, when you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. Multi-capper promotions here up here as well. So go ahead and get signed up. All right, guys, go ahead and start putting your picks into the chat, and I'll read them out, see who you like the most, guys, on tonight's show as we get to the recap for you right now. Let's recap the plays from today's show. All right, let's go to recap. Here's the recap. We start off with Brad. Brad liked the Kings +5 against the Suns. Tony Brown, Utah State money line, sprinkle some money line and take the +6 against New Mexico. Shane was on Georgia +5.5 against South Carolina. Jay liked the Stars -136 against LA Kings. Wayne moneyline Baylor -115 against Kansas State. Chris Arkansas +3.5 against Texas A&M. I'll be on Kent. Lay the 3.5 here against Northern Illinois. The one I like the most, I'll go with Brad with those Kings +5 against the Suns. All right, that's going to do it for this edition here of the Drive-Thru. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. Remember, we come back again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers here from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. They'll get their plays for us in real time. Remember, it always gets started with that morning crew, or it's that morning crew here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time during the week with Chris, with Jay, with Mitch. Remember, Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting a Tools show is roundtable discussion with the professionals. Jay's jam session, NFL, up tomorrow, 3 Eastern Time live, so check it out, as well as NBA Rundown, also part of the live shows. Of course, Chris with his NHL wraparound series, also a free pick contributor here on the site with individual plays from all the sports. And we also have Brad Francis parlay video. We also have contributions here from Wayne with his boxing video. Mills with his prop shop and his UFC rundown. We have Dana Lane with his against the public betting. Brian Bittler with his sharp contrarian picks. Costi sharp trading plays. Big Al McMorty with his all access. Ron Romanelli now with his college basketball rundown show. Check it out here on Pick Dogs. Nick Menken, first half NBA picks for here on his video series. And many, many more video series here. Boy, there's a lot to cover here. I think I covered the guys on the show tonight. I did. So that's why I always got to make sure I cover the guest on the show. Got to get that one in. All right, that's going to do it, guys. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications. We'll be live with you here. And, of course, make sure that subscribe button is hit. All right, that's going to do it here for us here on the drive-thru. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. Don't forget to chat. My man Blake in there. Thank you for joining us. Ron Crawford. Duquesne. He says Duquesne tonight. Let's cash from Solo. Blake M. As well. Zach Brown likes Richmond Moneyline. BYU Moneyline. Sixers lay the point half. And Cincy Moneyline from a man there. Miami, Ohio from D. Stu. Demarius Thompson had Texas A&M. Iowa State under. Charlotte minus 2.5. And Richmond plus 4.5. Shout out Lando 86, Justin 1890. Thanks for the help. Our man EQ there in there, and we've got Adolph in here with Bulldogs, his play, as well as Damon as well. Shout out there to you as well. Thanks for everyone for joining us. And Daniel Burst Sports Highlights. Shout out to you and Andy Edelson. Great job, everybody in the chat, for your contributions. Greatly appreciated. That's going to do it for the show tonight. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight. Great goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening.